I've come to the conclusion I will not never like this guy. This guy,
Benny the Butcher?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
he be rapping, man.
He's okay.
Let's just wait. Let's
Let's
just wait.
yeah.
You're right.
Yo, welcome to Beers and Bars.
Your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and, of course, great beer.
I'm Kamal Kiddo.
OT, the Golden Child. Thank y'all for checking out our last episode. Make sure if you haven't checked that joint out and you want to know our commentary on the Genius documentary, want to know our commentary on the most recent Conway album, check that joint out. Also, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, share, text, whatever you want to do, man. Help us grow this podcast where we talk about beer and rap in combination. So, yeah, man, what we doing this week, bro?
This week we got two brand spanking new albums we've been listening to for at least for a few days now, almost a week now. But we got Benny the Butcher, another one from the Griselda camp. Benny the Butcher's latest album, Tana Talk 4. I believe this is a mixtape. This is considered, I don't know. All of his other Tana Talks have been mixtapes. And Apple Music is kind of saying it's a mixtape. I don't know. Maybe you got more insight on that. I don't know.
Yeah, he said that it was more of a mixtape, but all this shit be weird nowadays because they be all original beats. He called it a mixtape, but on Wikipedia it's saying that it's a studio album. But he did say in the Breakfast Club interview a couple weeks ago that this was a mixtape, but it's a studio. I don't, whatever.
Then you got to go off what the man said.
Okay. All right.
But also we got Lil Durk, Chicago's own Lil Durk with his latest album 7220, which I believe is his grandmother's address.
And ode to his grandmother's address. I'm pretty sure that that's where he probably spent most of his young life. So right. Yeah, man, for sure.
What are we drinking? LG?
Yeah, man. So I am gonna be having one of the finest triples I've had in a long time. I'm gonna go to the moon tonight. I think I went to the moon last time too. What did I do? Last time I had some Hot Butcher. What did I have? Hot Butcher? I don't remember what I had.
But you had two beers, I think. You had two beers.
Yeah, I forgot what I had. No, I had a lager last time. I had a lager and an IPA. Yeah. So today I'm drinking, I think it's pronounced Paladin, which is a triple IPA from Old Irving. Old Irving is...
Shout out Old Irving.
Hey, man, Old Irving kills it on everything that they create. This triple IPA is 100% hop with Citra. So big tropical notes, big citrusy notes and whatnot. Pretty, got some dank character as well, which I love. This is a West Coast style triple as well. So I love those dank notes, dank character too. West Coast style IPAs. But what's crazy about this West Coast IPA is that typically, like a West Coast IPA, it'll be more clear, right? Like you can kind of see through contents of the glass. This joint it kind of comes off like a hazy. But I think when I was reading about it, is more so with the grain that they use for the particular beer. They didn't say what grain they use, but two specialty grains they said they use, which is how I think you got this more of a cloudy, more full body type, right. I would say even untraditional West Coast. But I don't know if that I'm not a beer aficionado. I don't know. However, what I'll say is that this is a damn good triple. So well balanced. It's not super bitter. Yeah, it's scary though because it's not super bitter. It's very drinkable, but it's 10.5%. So
that's dangerous.
But very well. Ooh, big tropical notes on the nose, man. Just beautiful.
True.
Beautiful. Old Irving, y'all need to Old Irving is a killer out here, dude.
Thanks.
They are killers.
They food is good too, man.
Food good. Shout out Trevor and the whole squad, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We got to get back over there, man. But I'm having another one from Pipeworks, tried and true. I'm having a Pipeworks Horchata ale today.
Okay.
This is ale with rice, lactose, vanilla, and cinnamon. This is coming in at 7% ABV. Never had it before. I was in Trader Joe and said, man, all of these Pipeworks, they come in with some new joints every rip. You know what? Let me go ahead and grab that. Give me that. Let me go ahead and just try it, man. So I actually picked it up today. So yeah, Horchata Ale, which is traditional, like I'm gonna say like rice water type situation, kind of sweet.
Latin joint.
With vanilla, yeah, with the vanilla and the cinnamon. Kind of similar to what you had, man. Kind of thick with the, very, very firm cloudish kind of color to it, kind of body to it. It's not really see-through at all. It looks very similar. But yeah.
Okay. Horchata, and that's not even really Latin. That's like, let me be fair. That's more even specific to like Mexican, right?
Yeah,
Latino, but it's
Mexican.
Yeah.
You can get this at a lot of Mexican taco spots, man, for sure.
Hey, man, look here. So let's just start off first of all.
And this is good, very crushable, very drinkable. Not very hoppy. I can taste the vanilla. This is smooth, man, for sure.
If you're like me, I am Mexican. I know you guys are seeing a black man on the screen, but no, I eat. And I'm so terrible. You're not Mexican because you eat a lot of tacos. So I'm being racist. But based upon what I eat, I will eat tacos like 3 times a week. Do you typically do you get horchatas? Do you get horchatas from spots when you?
I used to get when I was those late nights after the club, man. I definitely have gotten horchata from Taco Burrito King for sure. You know what I'm saying? I forget who put me on that rice water, man, the horchata, but I said, you know what? Let me mess with that. And it was actually kind of good, man. It's a little sweet, little vanilla, little taste, you know what I'm saying? But I rock with it. And I rock with this too.
For anybody out there, I'm gonna give you a little secret. If you want to eat some good food, but at the same time be a little health conscious, tacos, baby. Come on, you do fish tacos mainly, right?
Oh man, yes. And I do, and I can chef up some veggie tacos too, but I'm like a master at tacos now, man.
I'm a steak, cilantro, and onion fiend.
True.
And it's classic very taco. Light. It's classic very taco. Light. People out there, you want to be health conscious? Look, get you some tacos in your life. Take that cheese off. Don't put all that. You ain't got to do all that.
What you're talking about is a traditional Mexican taco. That is a taco. The cheese and tomatoes and all that's Americanized.
All that pound of sour cream. Get you a traditional fish. How do you want to do a fish, chicken, whatever, but cilantro, onions, squeeze a little lime on that boy. Stop playing. Stop playing. Anyhow, let's get into some content, man. We were talking about Durk, and we should start there. We were talking about Durk, and we've talked before about the kind of music that someone like a Durk makes. Both of us, I was born in Chicago. Kamal was born and raised in Chicago. Durk 7220, like Kamal was saying, 7220 being an ode to, I believe, his grandmother's address when he was younger. Durk this is his 7th studio album, I believe.
Is it really?
Yes, 7th studio album. Durk is a 29-year-old young man from Chicago, prominent, and came up with, I think his first big joint that popped on the drill scene was L's Up, the L's Up joint. You know what I'm saying? L's Up for them hitters or whatever that joint was, like 2013, 2014. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, man. I dig Durk from the standpoint of he really be putting on for this city. I would say he considers himself the voice, right? That's what he goes by, right? And I would say right now, from the standpoint of Chicago, he is maybe the most looked to voice in music. He gets a lot of features. Everybody remember Laugh Now, Cry Later, the Drake joint from 2019. Durk was on that. He had the Voice in the Heroes joint with Baby last year, right?
Last year, yeah.
Okay. But let me get into the album, man. Pain. You said on the last episode in relation to Conway got these bars, you know what I'm saying? Give me your pain, give me your such and such.
Yeah.
If y'all listen to like a Durk album, and y'all really paying attention, I know the flows and whatnot are melodic, but if you listen to what he's saying, you really catching a street Chicago,
Yeah.
young man who's, lost, a young man who's went through it, a young man who's been locked up, a young man who still has people that's involved within that life. It's a real different listen, especially when you watch the news here and you from here. Listening to this album is like, damn, G, like it's some shit on here. Let me just get into some songs, right? Like started from the bottom, or started from, I think is the first joint, talking about coming up as a kid in his grandma's spot, family issues, this and that. Head taps, aha, that's crazy. Bruh.
Don't respond to with Vaughn.
Bruh. Like, and if you know Vaughn, what was that last year or the year before?
Man, it might have been last year, but like earlier last year. It might have been last year.
He was murdered, right?
Yes.
Right. So you see, like, the album is full of this. You coined it as trauma rap, right, Kamal?
Yes, I coined the term trauma rap from really after listening to Saba, who really had like, there's a lot of trauma amongst these kids. You can ask any of these younger artists, younger teens in the city right now. Mm-hmm. It's a lot going on in the city that affects them, and they pour it out in their music. And Durk is one of them, man. And from just listening from Saba's album,
you go, yeah.
Care for Me. Yeah, my bad. I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No, I like it. No, go. You go.
Well, just listening to Saba's album, Care for Me, which was what, 2018, 2017?
Correct, 2018.
2018. It's a lot of pain on there. His friend John Walt died, and it's a hard listen because it's mostly about his friend that passed, tells about his passing. He's mentioned throughout the entire album. And it's a really good album, but it's hard to listen to. That's on the softer side of trauma rap. You have an artist like Lil Durk, who is more entrenched in the trauma and causes some of it. Mm-hmm. If you want to be real about it, if we being real about this music thing, you know what I'm saying? Have to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's entrenched in the streets. One of his earlier albums is Signed to the Streets. You know what I'm saying? He is in the streets. He has lived that life. He talks a lot about it on this project. I am not personally a fan of Chicago drill music. Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Go ahead.
Mainly because it sounds just so close to home. It's not entertaining to me a lot of times because
as a South Sider, you live on the South Side of Chicago.
I mean, I know, he mentioned Eggleston. Eggleston is not, Eggleston is on the South Side. All of these streets he's talking about, and, a lot of these areas he's talking about, I've been in or been through, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard hearing him, who is from the city that I am from, talk about these people that have died in the city. Most of the project, 7220, is about people that have passed on, or about something that happened in the streets, and about, he mentioned lean and perks a couple times, even though he also mentions he saw the Juice WRLD documentary and then quit it. But it's still throughout. I mean, it's still on songs after that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna cap. You gonna smell perks and lean when I fart. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember what song that was, but
it may be No Interviews. I think, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I like that joint though.
right. You know what I'm saying? Beef with Vlad. He don't mess with Vlad. You know what I'm saying? I think he's done a
Hey,
Vlad interview though,
hey,
but
I rock with that.
obviously, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people not on Vlad no more. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, overall, I think it's I it's hard for me to, you know, comment on it mainly because I'm not a fan of the music like that.
I hear
So
you.
it's not even fair for me to even speak on it. I'm not, you know, privy of the history and lineage of his music to bring him to this point. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the music sounds the same to me. You know what I'm saying? I do like Aha. You know what I'm saying? I like the more rugged songs.
Yeah.
But there are not many on here. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of it sounds like thug blues. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
I'm gonna pause you right there, man, because I think that that's a great point. And what I mean is that I want to talk about the contrast of the sound and the content
Yeah.
because you have these right these guitars and it's
This
ticking hi-hat,
piano, the
all that, and it's very melodic, right?
yeah.
And then the content on top of that is so
It's painful.
it's
It's
painful.
meant to put. He's pouring himself out, G.
Yeah.
But and it's crazy because this is the dichotomy of man. This is man. This is human. To be like, I mourn the people that have died, but I still pull up on you. We gonna slide. You know what I'm saying? In the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
in the same song. You know what I'm saying? In the same verse. You
So
know what I'm saying?
let me put a
It's
pin there. Like what I would love to see from a Dirk, right? And this is piggybacking off your Saba comment. Saba's more recent album is The Other Side of Trauma, right?
a few good things.
2018, Care for Me, then A Few Good Things as a man who's in a different space.
Sure.
I would love to hear a Dirk in a different space. But because he's still entrenched in that life, I'm not sure if we'll ever not get. And I'm not saying I have a problem. I like that. I actually like the album. I'm to keep it going. I love What Happened to Virgil. You know what I'm saying? That joint is dope to me, man. I like Love Dior Banks. I like Petty too. No interviews, but I would love to see the other side of the trauma. I want to see him make it out because he's made it. I mean, he got money, right? He's made it. He's successful, but he still seems to be obviously entrenched within these situations because of the ties that he has to the people that he knows, whether it be family, friends, or whatever. But we rarely get to see a Dirk transcend and go to the other side.
Yeah.
There's always, you know, I hope this never happens, but there's always an untimely demise. Seems to be their end or something like that, which I hope doesn't happen. But I want to hear his A Few Good Things. You know what I'm saying? Down the road. What's on the other side of this type of stuff? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Y'all check it out. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about it.
7220. Yeah, Lil Durk, man.
Yeah.
Moving on. Tana Talk 4, Griselda Records. They say he's the star of the group. They say West is the brains, and Conway is the silliest with the bars. And Benny couldn't agree more. Benny the Butcher, Tana Talk 4.
That was wonderful.
That's a Benny bar. Yeah. That's a Benny bar.
Did a good job.
I like Benny, man. I like Benny. I think he is a marksman with the words, man. I think his flow is undeniable. There's a lot of rough and gruff sounding rappers, but you know, his is so the end of his lines are so pointed, so it's so sharp. You know what I'm saying? His delivery is very on point, very precise. It cuts the way he spits. I think that this project, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk about it, but it's a catch-22 for me. It's like my feelings about the album are the same, are two sides of the same coin. You know, on one side, this man decided to rap straight bars and beats and bars. You know what I'm saying? You just need to throw a beer in there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let's
straight
go.
beats and bars, straight through the entire album. No intro, no outro. This is straight. I'm gonna give you bars. Coming out the gate, Alchemist produced Johnny P's Caddy, featuring J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Intro song. This is not an intro. This is the song we going straight in. And throughout the entire album is rapping, 2-tracking the whole joint, beats and bars. You know what I'm saying? Going in. And from the same side of that same coin, as much as I like that, on the same side of that same coin, this is just beats and bars. This is not no flash or no type of, I mean, and not to say that I want flash, but sometimes the beats felt monotone. You know what I'm saying? Our boy Oscar, he wanted to say that, it's mid, and it kind of feels that way. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of
Call
songs.
Oscar right now, see if he can join so I can get that shit out of here. All right, go ahead.
It's a lot of songs that I really like, but it's a lot of songs that I thought were just, they were just all right. For me, Johnny P's Caddy comes in strong. I really like Super Plug. I really like Tyson versus Ali. I really like 38 Special on Uncle Bun. I like Uncle Bun.
Yeah.
I like Billy Joe. I like Busta Brick Nick. I really believe that Busta Brick Nick deserves a quotable somewhere. The man straight rap through the entire thing. Shout out to Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite joints on this joint. And then Mr. Chow Hall. I think that's also a very good ending song. That song also has on it the thread of there being some dissension amongst Griselda. And there are a lot of things that are taken out, that are redacted in that song. A lot of things that are muted so that you don't know exactly what's going on.
Perfect.
But there are songs throughout the entire album that allude to the fact that the media feels as if there's dissension between Griselda, mainly him and Conway. And on the song Tyson versus Ali, they speak about the fact that how you comparing the greats against the icons. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in this thing together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think while I'm winning that he hating, he rooting me on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in this thing together. And that was a theme that was kind of throughout the entire album. It's on a couple of songs.
Mm-hmm. As it was on Conway's album as well.
As it was on Conway's as well. But it was almost even more so on this project.
Oh, for sure.
But that's the thing. You asked me earlier, which one do I like more, Conway's or Benny's? And it's hard to say. I do think Conway had more full songs, more, there are no wild chapters on Benny's album. There are no I'm stressed. There are no stress on Benny's album. You know what I'm saying? Benny is straight rapping. Now, could he do that? Maybe. This project feels like he came in just to rap. I'm going to give you straight bars and beats this joint. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's how I feel about it. On one side, I love the fact that he came in and straight rapped and he going to give you these bars. And then on the same side of the same token, because it's just that, I feel like it could be more if the beats they did more. It's just straight loops through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though I like a lot of them, You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Alchemist, man. I like most of his beats. I'm like most of the joints that he did on this project. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Super Plug and Buster Brick Nick is some of my favorite joints. And Johnny P's Caddy. And that's Alchemist too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's kind of I think it's just an okay album because of that. Yeah.
So what I would say is so I like this joint more than his recent joints. I like it more than I like the Picasso joint. I think it's better than Plugs I Met too. But here's what I would say about what you're saying right here. And you're right. It is just the beats are more loopy. They're good, but they're just one note, and then he's straight rapping. And we was talking about food earlier. This is how I would put it. I could get the sour cream. I could get the cheese, and sometimes I do. It's good,
right?
But fam, for me, the album is the steak, cilantro, and onions. G. I don't need nothing else with it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel what you're saying. You're right, because sometimes I do be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you some sour cream tonight, G. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little cheese. It's good. Right. It's good, but most times it's just the steak, cilantro, and onions. And for me, that's what this album is. He is rap. Yeah. There are 12 songs on here. I like 8. I like 8 songs.
Oh yeah.
Johnny P. Caddy's back 2 times. Weekend in the Perry's with my man Bo. Bro. 10 More Crack Commandments. Killed it. Tyson versus Ali. I like Throwey's Revenge. I like when he do the I did something the fun, something the fun, you know what I'm saying? I like when he kind of have that flow. I like Guerrero with Westside. And I really like Mr. Child's Hall. I like that they ended that way because it's so it's kind of ominous. It's like
very ominous, yeah.
You in the back of a restaurant and there's conversations that are happening that you shouldn't hear, right? Yeah. Stuff that you shouldn't hear or whatever. My daughter just tried to come in and she's fine. But it's muted out because this talk ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? It's the back of Mr. Child How, you know what I'm saying? Hall or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just a perfect way to end to me because I wonder what they talking about. Yeah. I like the fact that they allude to it, but they don't let you in all the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good album. I really like the album. I did pose the question, which do I like the most? And right now it's what I want to do, what I have to do at some point, what we should do. We got to get a Griselda playlist.
We do.
From 2017, 2018 to now, a Griselda, because Derringer's the main guy, right? Derringer and the guy he produces with sometimes.
Beat Butcher.
Yes.
Derringer and Beat Butcher are they main. Yeah.
Bruh, imagine Plugs I Met, throw on some So Help Me God, throw on some our favorite from Tana Talk 3, throw on some Boldy, throw on some West Side. We can compile like
Pray for Paris.
Bruh. Yeah. But I really like the album. I don't know what the difference it is between a mixtape and why it's not a full project or whatever the case may be. Benny will be here. I'm not going, but he'll be here the 17th. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Shout out Moore's Beer. That's one of their events, man.
And Matt.
Oh, shout out Matt for sure. That daily for number 1. Yes. Got to shout out Matt, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
That's a situation I was gonna rock with, but look, man. My daughter came in. She was just in here. I got 2 more. I got a wife. It'd be hard to move around out in the streets.
Hey, man. We got life going on. It's all good. It's all good.
Can't end out the also. But that's been in the butcher. Y'all check that joint out. Shout out Funky Town. If you guys are in the Chicagoland area, Funky Town's hip hops and R&B beer is now in majority of the Whole Foods that are around the Chicagoland area. And that's been tough for me because most Black-owned breweries that I want to support, you know, I'm in Wheaton, white folks, I love y'all, but I call it white. I'm in white. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like 3% black people, some shit like that.
You the three,
But
you're a minority for real.
I'll be out here blacked out. You know what I'm saying? Blackity black out here. But yeah, man. So I never been to the Whole Foods because Whole Foods is look. Yeah, I do like to eat healthy, but I got 5 people in the house. Whole Foods is a little bit out of my economic range. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. But
like that.
I did go last week and grab me some Funky Town beer from Whole Foods, which is like right around the corner. So yeah, the Hip Hop's and R&B joint. Yeah, man, they got them joints in all the Whole Foods. Well, most Whole Foods in the Chicagoland area. Y'all go check them out. Go grab that joint. Shout out to them boys for getting that account with Whole Foods. That's what it is. So
for sure.
BEERZ BARZ. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.